Hi guys, this is Val from valkayink, and as you have all just seen, this was the Trafalgar Law Yellow Submarine build kit. And I was very excited to finally sit down and start completing these. This will be a little series of me just, building and painting these little kits. So here is the first one, of course, and I just love the size of this. I mean, this is my hand that you guys normally see in videos, and this is me just gently holding a submarine in my hand. It's very entertaining to me, the size of these. The size also does make painting these a little bit difficult. I feel like I'm learning how to paint miniatures because I'm not used to this size in particular. This submarine was a big learning experience for me because it's been a while since, one, I've done a build kit, and two, been a while since I've painted a kit. So here is everything all together. You guys can tell me in the comments how you think I did. I think I did okay. I think I did okay with this build. There are a couple of things I want to change on here, a couple of seams that I don't think are as clean as I could have done. I do like that I tried mixing different types of finishes. For example, I made glossy rockets on the bottom, but I did a semi-matte on the rest of the ship. I like semi-matte because it still has a bit of a glossy look, but it's also not super shiny and fake looking. It still feels and looks like a nice finish. I felt like the yellow of the ship would look like this. Things that I did a little bit different from the kit was I did not use the stickers for the railing or the windows. This kit generally comes with stickers and, all those supplies for all those small parts, such as the doors and the panels. I didn't want to do that. I always prefer painting on my kits. I think the hardest thing to paint was the tiny windows and the tiny doors on this upper part. I had so much trouble with that. Basically, instead of taking a brush, because I'm a bit shaky with brushes, I took the tip of a Gundam liner pen, and that's how I did the windows. And that's pretty much the best use I've found for the Gundam fine tip pens. In case you guys aren't familiar, these are the pens. This is literally, this submarine is the size of my pen. This is what the fine tip pens for Gundam are, and it's the same kind of acrylic based paint that you'd find in Gundam or model paints, just in a fine little nib form, and that's how I filled in the windows and some of the panel lining. I gotta say, I think for panel lining, such as, painting these little fins, these little lines, I wish I had panel liner paint, which is a thinned out paint with a few more chemicals in it that help it sink into parts, and I think that would have been better, but I don't have any on me. So that's why I resorted to the pen. But that's the best use I've found for these, is small detail work like that. For the little panels, instead of using the stickers, I actually mixed my own mix of acrylic paint, and that's how I painted these sections and then the top. And then I also used the same paint on the bottom. And as you guys saw in the video, the best way to basically shade a small kit like this, I used pastels. I used the very fine chalk pastels and a small brush, and I actually brushed in the pigment, and that's called blushing, and you'll see that, if you are doing kits, if you are doing figures, if you are doing doll redos, stuff like that. It's a great technique, and I find that it worked really, really great. It worked the best on acrylic, and I say that because the yellow that I used was actually a tester's paint, because I wanted to try out the tester's colored paints in the cans, since I had never used them before. Because I wanted this submarine to be super yellow, I used the tester's spray enamel. So the yellow is spray enamel, whereas the rest are Gundam paints or mixed acrylic paints that I have. I like this. I gotta say, it covers great, easy to use, however, takes forever to dry, and has this really sticky feel when you're handling it. Like, it feels great now because I've put a matte spray on it, the semi-matte semi-gloss spray that I used, but Man, handling this thing and trying to get the pigment to go evenly over an enamel, very difficult. This was just a test. I wanted to see if I could do it. I did it fairly well. I think, you know, the pastel shows up a bit harsh on some spots. For example, up here. So I think I would stick to more acrylic paints when doing my next boat or my next ship. But man, I really, really wanted this color. If you look at the guide for the box, there's a much paler yellow that they make this ship. And for some reason I wasn't feeling it. I wanted a deep, almost orangey yellow to kind of match Law's logo here. So I did that. And the only stickers I used were these really decal fine stickers that they had for the death and for the emblem. I didn't trust myself to paint those, so I did use those. And they're so thin that they do go on really well. You have to get really close and really move it around in the lighting to see that it's a sticker. You know, coating it in the same top coat, everything really helps hide that. Yeah, I feel like a few more years of doing these and I'll get better. I'll get better at doing them. But this is what the kit looks like when you paint everything instead of using any of the stickers. And even on the bottom I made sure to paint these white to match the barrels. Otherwise they would be the standard teal blue color that they are. Anyway, I guess I'm not the best critic, I'm not the ultimate judge. You guys can be the judge of how I did on this. You guys let me know what you think of the completion of this kit. And I gotta say, there is multiple ways to display these. For example, this one, and that's why you still see my line here, you can actually separate the top and have the water flow around it. You can add the sails. Whenever I personally think of this ship, the Yellow Tang just doesn't have sails to me. I don't know why. So even though I have the sails and I started painting them, I'm never going to use them. So I'm going to keep them off. I'm going to keep the tall parts, but I'm not going to add the full sail on. And yeah, so I'm really excited that I finished this one. I'm going to get them all done. I'll put a link to my last video where I was talking about doing these kits and all of them that I currently own, so you guys can see what's coming up in future builds. And I'm going to try to keep these videos a little bit shorter just so you guys can enjoy the final product a little bit more. And hopefully I'll learn to build these and paint them a little bit better in the future. That's my goal with this. So anyway, if you guys have any tips down below that you would like to share, please do so in the comments because that would help me immensely. And if you guys have any opinions on this, share those as well. You know, I'm open to critique. And I think I did all right. I'm not sure. I think a master would do these a little bit more justice. But I am happy. I am happy with these. The way that I completed this one anyway. The Yellow Tang being one of my absolute favorites out of One Piece. So of course I was dying to get it done first. Anyway guys, that's it for this one. Hi to all my subscribers, you guys rock. Stay tuned for more art, build kits, figures, videos, hauls, and of course my new series Valkay Chats, where I get to just chat with my friends about what we're watching and what we're collecting. Anyway, you guys rock. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!